What up? Back again. It is Wednesday night, so you know I gotta get you right. It's the BoyLosCrazy, Lake County Unfiltered, Lake County Media. It's the BoyLosCrazy, and of course it gets crazy every Wednesday. I'm in a building with a very special guest. He's a friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen him before, but he's back again, ladies and gentlemen. My brother running for mayor once again, but he's doing a whole lot of stuff in the community. He's been holding it down. Mr. Anthony Coleman is in the building right now. Clap it up. We're in the building right now. What's up, Ant?
How you doing, Carlos?
I'm trying to make it, brother. That's it, trying to make it. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How about yourself?
You know me, man. Slow motion.
Absolutely.
Man, this election season now is a lot going on. I know we're going to cover a lot, but I just want to know, how's your mindset, how's your mental health right now during this election season? How's it going?
Absolutely great, Carlos.
Okay.
Absolutely great.
Okay. Talk to me. You're a North Chicago guy, a lot of roots, family, have a lot of roots in the city. I grew up in North Chicago back in '02, but you've seen a different North Chicago than me.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about what was North Chicago like when you was growing up. Talk to me about some of the staple families, staple things that y'all used to do. Talk to me a little bit about that. Paint a picture for me if you can.
It was most definitely a different North Chicago. The demographics was different.
Mm-hmm.
The school system was different. It was more family orientated, more black businesses. And it was more of a village, right? But we had a different demographics at that point. It's a little different now.
What was some of the stuff you guys were doing? Kind of talk to me a little bit about the culture of the city and what is different now than it was then.
There's a lot of things, Carlos, that are different. I think now everything's different. You know, you have the internet. Back then, you didn't have the internet. So as children, you went outside. You went to go play. You went to the parks. Those are things that you did. Now we have the internet, right? So we don't have that same type of involvement at the youth centers that we had. It was just a different generation. You know, there wasn't cell phones, right? So you did a lot of connecting through personal, let's go hang out, right? And the parties were a big deal. I think now it's a different generation. It's a different time, and you have to be able to adapt with the times, right? North Chicago is a totally different place than it was when I grew up. If I could get it back to the way that it was, absolutely. That's something I wouldn't blink an eye. But unfortunately, we have to adapt, right? Right now, we were predominantly minority at the time when I was raised in North Chicago. Now we have a population of, we have to serve the Latino population now, right? And they make up a huge population in our school districts, right? Gotcha. So our classrooms look different. We were taken over by the state of Illinois. So the teachers that I had growing up, we don't have those teachers. Those teachers are long gone, right? They went out and they recruited some teachers from Illinois State, and they brought them into North Chicago under this current administration, and it resembles Illinois State, right? Some of the things that North Chicago can do is maybe go to black colleges, right? And maybe we can get some black teachers from black colleges, and then maybe if you want to kind of get it back to the old days, right? That would be the adjustment that we would have to make, right? We're not going to have the Mr. Moores and the Mr. Clarks and Whitakers, and that's before your time. But
No. I know about Mo. I know about Mr. Moore, Mr. Whitaker. Yeah. So, Mr. Clark, I seen him around. I know he wasn't my teacher, but yeah, for sure.
So those are the type of adjustments that that we would have to make as a community with the population that we have now. So,
Gotcha. If you were the mayor, what would be the first step you would do to kind of get some of those cultural pieces back in the city? What's the first thing you would kind of do?
Well, I think as a city, I think we're doing a good job. We reached out and it went through the council, and we were all in agreement with it. The first Latino parade, we held that for a couple years in the city of North Chicago. Big shout out to Margaret. I know she's going to be involved if she's not already involved. Good friend of mine. But we're already doing things to try to mend the culture differences. We're putting out things from the city. We're putting out things in 2 languages. We're trying to make sure that the communication, if someone reaches out to the city, that they can get a bilingual operator. So
Gotcha.
we're doing things like that in the city currently.
Gotcha. If you're watching this live, I need you to do me a favor. Hit the share button for me, and then hit the like button, the heart button for the next 15 seconds. If you're watching us, if you support the Crazy Ride Show, you support me at any point, hit that button for me, hit the share button, and hit the heart button for me for the next 15 seconds because I'm live with Anthony Coleman. And you have your fingerprint on a lot of different things that people don't know. People maybe be out up in front with certain things. You be in the background with certain stuff. Talk to me about some of the stuff that you kind of been a part of that people don't necessarily know that you ain't really bragging about, but you've helped kind of implement in the city or just community, just do stuff that you do.
That's a great question, Carlos. I would say that I've impacted the entire Lake County. And that's through building relationships. I can go through and I remember a time when our Lake County treasurer, Holly Kim, we were doing hot dogs at the basketball game. Sheriff Eidelberg, the first black sheriff, he wasn't the sheriff at that time. I can remember the time working on Sam Cunningham's campaign. I've been involved in a lot of campaigns, and a lot of those campaigns they were successful, and they went to take office. That's not to me, but I've built those relationships over the years.
Gotcha.
So
you've taught me something that I'll never forget. I don't know if you realize it. It was a long time ago. You was telling me about the political sphere, the environment of politics, and you were talking to me about all these different things that's happening, things you got to do, and why do you want to get into politics? Why are you in politics? Because you're currently an alderman now. What was so important about getting into the political sphere?
Well, when it comes to changing the community and actually making an impact in the community, a lot of that depends on the policies, the policies that govern that community. And everybody wants to shy away from the word politician, but a politician actually creates policy for the constituents, right?
Yeah.
And it's important to have good policies in place in order for your community to actually see growth.
Yeah.
So it's actually an honor to be called a person. It's actually an honor in my community for me to actually be a part of that process of making sure that our policies are fair for our constituents.
Gotcha. And what is it like being in politics in North Chicago? What is it like? Is it tough? Is it easy? What is it like? Because it's a small city, some people think that it's not a big deal. It's just an easy walk in the park. Kind of talk me through that process a little bit.
I think times have changed. When I first got involved in politics, I was 35 and I ran for mayor. I think politics had the atmosphere of Waukegan right now, right?
Okay.
Darren Hanna had just, my friend had just got killed, and things were kind of up in the air in North Chicago, and it was a heated election, the first election I got in. I think now it's more of a transitioning period for the city of North Chicago. Our politics looks different than Waukegan right now. That's, I would say, because we're a team, right? My vision is a little bit different than the mayor's vision, right? But together, we still move the city forward. So even after this current election, on April the 2nd, we still have to work together to move the community forward.
Absolutely.
So.
What's so different about you and the current mayor's vision, and what, I'm not saying what would you differ yet, what do you differ in his positioning and your positioning to be the mayor in 2025?
Okay. Well, I think that's the question I've been preparing for all night, right? The best way to explain it is the mayor's like the coach of the team, right? And the aldermen, we are kind of like the owners of the team. We're the ones that sit in the box office, and we're the ones that actually make the final decision when it comes to the city and the voting process, right? So we actually are the city. The mayor is considered the coach, right? He handles day-to-day operations. He makes sure that economic and development is running. He makes sure that the water department's functioning. So he kind of deals with the players, hands-on, right?
Gotcha.
He gives the okay, we're going to play this person, or we're not going to play this person, right? We're going to trade this person, or we're not going to trade this person. And as a coach, sometimes, you might have good players, right? And I think North Chicago, we are full of good players. But if we're not winning championships, sometimes you have to trade some of those good players in for great players, right?
You preach it.
And that's how you win championships.
Yeah.
And I think some of the coaches' decisions and some of the people that he has decided to play in the game, I wouldn't have made those decisions, right? And it's a few changes. Example, economic and development. If we're not winning and we're not getting development on the 40 acres, we're not getting development downtown, right? There's people at the city that get paid a lot of money to bring development into our community. So basically the way it works is they bring the development in, the mayor prepares it, puts it before the alderman, and we vote on it. But if we're not getting development ideas to vote on, or the mayor is not getting development ideas, and now if you listen, I didn't say it was the mayor's fault.
Right.
What I'm saying is if he's not getting that and that player's not producing, then he might be good, but we're not seeing development in our city. So maybe it's time for a trade.
Gotcha.
Our HR department, if we're not seeing the hiring of us, that's what they get paid for. They're supposed to know marketing. They're supposed to know what websites that we watch. They're supposed to know this is part of their job. This is what they make the big bucks for. If me as the mayor, I'm the coach, I go to my HR and I say, I want to hire more residents from the community. And they don't produce more residents from the community, then maybe it's time to trade that HR director, right?
Gotcha.
The engineering in our city, there's a few differences, right? As you see, the engineering department.
Different departments, yeah.
It's contracted out now. Under my administration, I would most definitely want to see if maybe we could do some of the engineering projects in-house, right? And maybe increase our public works department. So that would provide more jobs for the people that's in our community and maybe save us a few dollars on some of the engineering contracts. Not saying that our engineering department is not doing a good job, because they're doing a great job. There's a lot of cities, there's a lot of streets that are being done in the city of North Chicago. A lot of the plumbing, they're getting done. But when it comes to saving money, maybe we can do some of those projects in-house, maybe like connecting the sidewalks, and maybe our engineering department can work on the sidewalk program so that we can walk through our streets, or a lighting program, or an alley program where this public works department, they're redoing the alley, right?
Gotcha.
These things are getting done, but I think that the pace, right? I think that we can get a lot more done. We can get a lot more production out of the team. Gotcha.
People say politics are slow moving thing. It's not a fast thing. In a smaller city like North Chicago, would you expect things to move a lot faster? Because before you were an alderman, you were running for mayor, but now you're an alderman and you're inside of the system. While being inside of it, should things move faster, or is the pace? You said you spoke about the pace. That's what I'm asking. Should things move faster in the city politics, especially North Chicago? Processes.
I would say yes, and the reason why I would say yes is it's about trading those players, right? Getting those players to bring to the table, getting production right out of your departments, right? I think that process is slow, right? And I think we can get more out of our departments. I just can't put it.
No, I got it.
As far as things being held up in the city of North Chicago, no, absolutely not. I mean, we've got a great city council. We're all working together. We just had a business come to our city, a limo.
Nice.
They negotiated with us. They walked away from the table and they felt like it was a win-win situation, right? So, I mean, things are not bad in the city of North Chicago. I just think things can move along a little bit faster.
Got you. How would you? A lot of people always talk about the youth. A lot of people say the city is not the city's responsibility to create youth programming. But how do you connect, getting the position, how do you connect the youth, because you've worked with kids most of your life, how do you connect the kids to what's happening in the city to make programming, bigger programming, different diverse opportunities for different kids?
Well, we're going to tie that back into the coach's statement, right? As a coach, it's not a coach's job to tell a player every movement on the court, right? You've got to give players freedom in order for them to operate, right? Give them room to operate. I think that building relationships as the coach with Foss Park and with the school board, and just through that relationship of working together as one, right? I think the vision from the coach comes across through the Park District and comes across through the school district as well. So if the mayor is saying, okay, let's bump youth up and prioritize it, the Park District understands that we have the city's support now, right? And having the city's support with the Park District programs, that's how you get things to kind of sink in and kind of work together. And then you can kind of bring the school district aboard and make it an intergovernmental type thing without it being an intergovernmental contract, but actually just a discussion and everyone being on the same page.
I like that. I don't know if that exists. I know it exists in Waukegan, an intergovernmental kind of meeting. I don't know if that exists in Chicago. That would be really cool. Two-part question. Downtown North Chicago, when I say that, people laugh at me. Like, what are you talking about North Chicago down? Stop playing with us. We got a downtown, ladies and gentlemen. When you talk about downtown North Chicago and then you talk about Sheridan Crossing, kind of talk to me about what would be your vision to kind of make those things pop out a little bit harder than they popping now?
Well, right now, we're currently including Sheridan Road in the budget. That's something that I'm fighting for. Previously, we've never earmarked money just for Sheridan Road. I would say within the last 4 years, in case someone fact checks me, in the last 4 budget seasons, right? Somewhere we stopped allocating money to Sheridan Road. And I want to get back into allocating dollars to Sheridan Road. On top of that, we're lobbying to the state of Illinois to see if they could bring us back some funding. When the chief of staff, he's ready to go to Springfield, I'm like, hey, don't forget Sharon Road, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget when you go down there and talk to the senator about, and he goes down there, and our chief of staff does a good job. And last time he went, he came back with a positive report, and we're actually working on a project that's like $10 million.
Nice.
So it's part of the lakefront project that we're trying to connect with Waukegan. And they're getting a bag, and
for sure.
And I'm making sure that the second ward and our downtown district gets some of it, right? And hopefully that'll be a $10 million improvement on downtown. So
what would be your dream vision, if you could have a dream amount of money? What would Sheridan Crossing look like? We know we got the money to redevelop the field and make it clean, but what would be your dream vision for Sheridan Crossing? You had unlimited money. If I gave you $100 million and say, bro, go ahead, do your thing, what would you put there?
Stadium.
Okay.
Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, I would put a soccer stadium there.
Okay.
And I would see if I could get it on the circuit with FIFA. That would bring in outside revenue. Hopefully that could speed up the process of us having to dig, right?
Yeah.
Because the chemicals are supposed to be so low under the ground. Hopefully that would be a project that we could get up pretty quickly. Within stadiums are built pretty quickly now.
Definitely.
Build a stadium, bring in some outside revenue, put us on the map, and we can always go from there.
I like that.
But if I had instant money right now, I would start building a stadium. It would attract outside dollars.
Nice. That ain't a bad plan. That ain't a bad plan. I like that. North Chicago, we didn't have a lot of voters come out to come vote in the primary. Talk to me a little bit about why do you think our voter turnout isn't high, above 1% in the city of North Chicago? What do you think that is? Share this video too, y'all.
I think that comes from education, right? Understanding how politics actually affects your community, and starting at the high school levels, right? I know at Waukegan, they actually have a school board, and their children sit behind them at the school board meetings, and that's their counsel for, and they learn a valuable lesson at a young age, right? And being a part of that in high school and making an impact with your class, right, and leaving an impact on your class, that's kind of the foundation to the next alderman.
That's pretty cool,
right? And also a lack of understanding what we do as aldermen and what the mayor does and what some of these positions actually, what they do and how they impact them every day on day-to-day life.
Gotcha.
And I don't think if people really understood how important it was to get the right commissioners at the Park District, to get the right school board members, to get the right aldermen, even the right mayor in place. I think those numbers would at least double.
Absolutely. When you look at the VA and you look at Abbeve, these huge, even Rosalind Franklin, these huge kind of businesses, I guess you could call, they're businesses in the city. How do you connect a strong relationship with these companies and build more of a connection between the city and them directly? How would you do it? Or if it's already done, you could say it's already done, but how do we do a better job at that?
The current mayor, he's been a mayor for some time now, and he's already developed those relationships. And I think he's got the most fruit that he could possibly get at this point, right?
Okay.
And when we use the word rebrand, sometimes a new face brings a new conversation, which brings new results, right? Most definitely the transition of the city of North Chicago. He's been the mayor for a long time. You've got to respect that. You've got to respect the relationships. But during the transition of the city, we want to keep those relationships going, right?
Gotcha.
And as a coach, as I sit in those rooms, that's where I feel that I would make the biggest difference. Is I think I would bring more out of those relationships than we currently are getting out of these current relationships, like with the military base. I think that if I were to talk to the Admiral and he were to see my passion, I think that we could bring a little bit more back.
Gotcha.
More fruits from the military.
Gotcha.
With Abbott's, there's that's another one.
We're surrounded by it. It's surrounded by a lot of
Procter and Gamble. That those are other companies that we have relationships with. But I think me sitting in those rooms, being a new face, a little aggressive, but making sure that we get what belongs to us, right, as a community.
Gotcha. All right, man, we need some questions from the audience. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a commercial break in. But I want you guys to think about some questions that you may have. And you can ask Anthony Coleman right now any questions that you may have. First commercial you're going to hear from is not an endorsement. It is a paid ad. You're going to hear from my brother Keith Turner really quickly, and we'll be right back. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments real quick. Here's a message from Keith Turner right here. Okay.
So desperately need, and I'm honored to have your vote. Keith Turner, your independent mayor. Website is votekturner.com.
Again, that is not an endorsement. That is a paid ad from Keith Turner. So shout out to Keith Turner. He is running for mayor in Waukegan. We did have a question from Brenda. She says, what is your plan for after-school programming, she asked. I know that's a school district thing, but yeah.
I would call my dad. Gerald Coleman.
Shout out to Gerald Coleman, absolutely. He's mad at me right now, too. Coach, cut it out, okay? I saw your call. I got to call you back. Go ahead.
For school board 2025, that's a great question. And I think that the new school board candidates, they would love to answer that question.
Absolutely.
I think they're big on being an advocate for our children and for after-school programs. So
absolutely.
And anything that they needed from the city, I would be there to absolutely support them in anything that they needed.
Absolutely. Anything you want to tell the audience, you can look in that camera right there. And just for anybody that's on the fence who's in the mix of voting, don't know who they're going to vote for, in the mix of it, on the fence, if you could tell them anything to vote for you, what would you say, man? What would you say?
Voting is important for our community in order to make sure that we don't do the same things over and over again, right? And change, it's important for our community to change in order to have growth. So I would love to be a representative, to sit in those rooms, to bring back to our community what we well deserve, and over the years, maybe bring back a little extra. So April the 1st, come out and vote, and early voting has started at the North Chicago Public Library.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to let the people know? Anything extra? Anything you want to put some sauce on it? Let them know. Let them know.
No,
we're good. Sure? You good?
We're absolutely good.
He gave it to you the way he's going to give it to you. We shout out to Anthony Coleman coming through, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you. The coaching thing, I thought that was dope. I like the analogy and how it fits in the position that it plays in the city. I thought that was pretty good, man. So that really that affected me. I'm a North Chicago guy. You moved me, and basketball is a big thing in your family, of course. So that's dope. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, get out and vote, man. April 1st is the election day, but you can go out and vote right now. In Illinois, you can register to vote right there. Like if you're going, you could go register when you go to vote. So if you never voted before, it's people that just voted in the primary who never voted before. If you're one of those people that never voted before, man, get out there, man, and vote. Get a part of the process. You ain't got to spend no money or nothing, just some time, probably 10 minutes to vote. We appreciate everybody watching, everybody who showed love to The Crazy Show. Please hit the heart and like button. We want to shout out True Conglomerate Productions. We want to shout out The Closet Space. Without The Closet Space, I wouldn't be up in here. Shout out to The Closet Space, 2700 North Sheridan Road. That's the place you want to go to get your clothes, ladies and gentlemen. They got it on deck. But Anthony, again, thank you for coming through, bro. I appreciate you so
Carlos.
much. And I got another message from somebody else running for mayor in Waukegan. Here's a message. Again, this is not an endorsement. It is a paid ad from my brother, Sam Cunningham. So we'll see y'all at 8 o'clock. I got another show coming up right here. My boy Ink God will be live at 8 o'clock. So get in tune with that. It's the BoyLosCrazy. If you knew better, you'd do better. I need 2 sweaters. We'll see y'all next time. We be live at 8 o'clock. Sam Cunningham. Talk to him, brother.
Sam Cunningham, SAMCUNNINGHAM. I think we have a variation of that. One of the things I would like to see is, one, sit down with all of our entertainment centers, those who what people consider to be doing entertainment, whether it be a restaurant, certainly that has a bar, that has a casualness to it. Everybody at the table, and let's make some rules. Let's say, for example, rules are everyone must have the 18-year, the ID scanner. I think that's a must. A number 2, a ban list. A ban list where if you're banned from one, you're banned from all. That really helps now the confusion of who can come in, who can't come in. I think then third, we identify what do we want from a standpoint of entertainment or entertainment areas. In our downtown beachfront area, enjoying the summer months in Waukegan. I call it the Northern Navy Pier approach.